Guten Tag, everybody. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the Dynamo Dresden save, where we want to get this East German club to be the first East German club. Technically speaking, it won't be the first East German club because Leipzig just won the Bundesliga. But the whole point of this save is to get Dynamo Dresden to win the Bundesliga. And we're making good headway. We are making good progress. So let's go and have a look and see what exactly has been going on. So financially wise, we have over 60 million in the bank. No debts or loans or anything that we know of at the moment. But if we have a look at the club vision and then have a look at the board, I think it is, they've upgraded the coaching staff, and there has been some come through on the emails that they may be looking at investors to either put money into the club or expanding or building a new stadium. I'll keep you updated with that if anything does come through. But transfer-wise, since we do have a little bit of money and we have survived our first couple of seasons in the Bundesliga, the money is starting to come in a little bit more, which is brilliant. As you can see, I've rejected Freiburg's offer for Rocco Wrights here because I'm not going to let him go. But as you can see, we have been doing a little bit of shopping here and there. A few players have gone. I'm going to have a look at the tick over point. So nobody there and nobody there. So everything is on this screen. So we made 2.2 million in just selling a couple of players that did the job when I needed them to, but they are no longer needed. So Benabi has gone back to Estudiantes. I don't even know if I've said that right. I apologise. 1.1 million. Blendi Idrizi has gone to Regensburg for $750,000, and just a few bits and pieces here and there. Nothing really special, but that didn't mean that we didn't spend money ourselves. So the most imaginative name I've ever heard of, Matteo Di Matteo. From Winterthur, 5 million, Swiss, central midfielder, ball-winning midfielder. But I thought, you know what, for 5 million and that sort of potential ability with these attributes already, and he's a resilient midfielder, I was like, yeah, I'm all over this one. This guy is going to be an absolutely brilliant ball-winning midfielder once he learns how to tackle and mark. But he's only 18. Let's give him a chance. I think he'll turn out all right. Then Stanko Slepčević from Partizan, 5 million again. Another central midfielder, Serbian this time. His valuation has shot up to nearly 40 million. And oh my word, this guy can pass a ball. He's got great technique, great physicals, fantastic stamina. So brilliant for the system that we play. And he's consistent. Just needs to get that big game mentality as well, I'd say. But Stanko, very much welcome to the club. But this is the big one. This is the one I wanted. I saw him last season. He was a little bit too expensive, but his price dropped this season. Dennis Simon. Everybody knows on the game. Now the game's been round for God knows how long now, a couple of years. Dennis Simon is one of the best young goalkeepers on the game. If you get him early, he can develop into an absolute monster of a goalkeeper. 22 years old, for 5 million I think it was I got him in for. Yeah, 5 million for Dennis Simon. And he goes straight in. Loves the big games, great consistency, fantastic goalkeeper. Hopefully he's going to stay as our goalkeeper until we win the Bundesliga. That's what I want. Then Adam Asnu from Werder Bremen, 3.5 million. Left back, Spanish, young again. Great consistency in big game matches again. Fantastic. He can cross a ball, he can dribble with it, he can tackle. So very, very good defender and very young defender as well. So brilliant to go into that left back spot. Mario Gonzalez from Cerro Porteño in Paraguay, 18 years old, at right back this time. Again, great potential, good consistency. A little bit worried about his injury record already at the age of 18, but hopefully that will just disappear over time. But I think he has got a lot to offer, and I think if we can find a right position for him at right back and develop him nicely, he'll be all right for us. Flavius Danlukic from Salernitana is a free transfer who I arranged in the December of the previous season, I believe it was. Centre back or right back, but he's going to be predominantly playing centre back. Fantastic individual, 27 years old, great experience. He's been around the block a little bit, but last few seasons in Italy, done really, really well over there. Played in France and also actually played in Germany. Started off here, so that's not. In fact, actually started off at Real Madrid and then went to Bayern Munich. So he's been around. He knows the league as well, so that's good. And then the crown jewel of the season, admittedly only for one season, is the loan of Claudio Echeverri. Now, Man City obviously got him in real life. He's a young Argentinian playmaker. Obviously, like a lot of Argentinian playmakers, he's been likened to Lionel Messi and such like. It's always a bit of an unfair comparison, I think, for youngsters to get that in real life, but it is what it is. That's just the nature of the game. But with a dribbling of 16, first touch of 17, and a technique of 17, with a flair of 18, I'm expecting this guy to create a hell of a lot of chances for us. At the end of the day, I paid £1.5 million for a loan fee for the season, so I need to get the best out of him. That's the transfers covered. If we have a look at the tactics, well, we're around the diamond formation. I put Echeverry in as a shadow striker. He stays in the season because I don't want him taken out the side, then the loan being cancelled and we miss out on a player for the rest of the season, because that can happen. So this is what we're going for, and I am going to pick without restriction to have a look at the team. Echeverry stays there. Then we've got Cowie and Angel up front. Matteo Di Matteo in central midfield, along with Tower and Wright. Asta, Dan Lukic, Pulic, Asnu, and Dennis Simon as the main team. Actually really happy with that team. I think that's a very, very solid team, and I'm very, very hopeful for this season. At the end of the day, no European football still, so the pressure's not massively on us, but I would like to see us pushing, maybe qualifying for a Conference League spot now, possibly, or moving in that direction. If we finish a couple of points outside, it's no great loss, I suppose, for being the 5th season. Baby steps at the end of the day, because we've just taken this team from, in 5 years, from the 3rd Liga up to the top league. Well, I'm going to go and roll the highlights. Let's go and find out what happens this season, and I'll see you guys in a few seconds. This season pretty much followed the same pattern as season 4, consistency being our biggest issue. Recording only 4 league wins before Christmas, things look bleak. But after Christmas, a 3-0 win versus Bayer Leverkusen, a 5-1 win versus Wolfsburg, and a 1-0 win versus Eintracht Frankfurt turned our fortunes around, as we managed to finish comfortably in mid-table in 9th position. In the DFB Pokal again, we had a barnstorming time. We nudged past Allenzow 4-2, it took extra time to beat Hanover, and we squeezed past Arminia Bielefeld 1-0. We went on to face Nuremberg in the quarterfinals, and we cruised through that game 3-1. And into the semi-finals, it was Bayer Leverkusen. This went all the way. After Naipan scored, we equalised via Dan Lukic to go to penalties, where we emerged victorious to reach the 2nd ever Pokal final in the club's history, but to face Bayern Munich. And it was a replay of last season. We didn't turn up, as we lost the final 1-0 to an Elise penalty, and heartbreak again in the final. Sometimes in life, things are just not fair. Ugh. That is gut-wrenching again. We've had a really good season, don't get me wrong. We have done, let's have a look at the league table. We have done pretty well, all things considered. Considering the amount of money that we got to spend and all that sort of stuff, we've done alright. What's even more surprising is that Stuttgart have been in the relegation fight. That's odd, to say the least. In fact, actually, just out of curiosity, before I go ahead, do they still have... Yeah, they do. They've got Angelo Stiller still there. He's not moved on. I'm very surprised at that. I'm very surprised at that. But they do have Kelleher in goal. Interesting. Anyway, back to us. Yeah, we just finished outside of the European qualification spots, which is gut-wrenching to say the least, because we're only 4 points off it, and we threw it away at the end of the season. Losing 3 and drawing 1 at the end of the season is not good enough, where we could have actually had, if we'd won at least 2 of those games, 6 points onto there, we could have finished in a Europa League spot, and that would have made all the difference. But I did say at the start, before the highlights, that I wasn't going to lose too much sleep if we missed out by a few points, but it's still gut-wrenching. It really still is gut-wrenching. But on the other side of things, I don't know what's more gut-wrenching, to be fair. Losing 2 Pokal finals in 2 seasons to Dortmund and Bayern Munich is... There's no shame in that, but it's still hard to take when it's only a 1-0 loss. It really is, and the fact that we have our names there as the runners-up for the last 2 seasons is painful. It's painful, and I think there's going to have to be some movement in the squad this season. Coming into season number 6, we're going to have to spend a little bit of money. Speaking of which, let's have a quick look at it. 25 million again, 28 million in the bank, but we do have a net debt now because we have a bank loan, and I can confirm to you now, We are looking at stadium expansion, because if we have a look at the club vision and the board, not stadium expansion, building a new stadium to be completed in 3 years. We'll be around for that, I think, at least for a couple more years. So we may actually get to see the new stadium, which is nice, but adding that debt on does not help. So I think even more so, the pressure now is to get into Europe to bring that extra money in. That's what we need. But with 25 million, that's going to be difficult. We do have a few players that are wanted. As you can see, Dennis Simon stayed in goal for half the season because I had to come back at the December and he wasn't playing at all. Van der Voort was getting in ahead of him, and I didn't want that. He's a good goalkeeper, but he's not as good as Dennis Simon. So, yeah, he's got the consistency in the big game, but so is Dennis Simon. And attribute-wise and potential-wise, he's better than Van der Voort. I think Van der Voort is wanted now, so I might be able to... not going to get much money out of him. Let's have a look at the goals. Again, started off well at the start of the season and he just dropped off. Echeverri actually had a very, very good season. 10 and 10 in 37 games. I think Guardiola, whoever's in charge of Man City. Who is in charge of Man City? Let's have a quick look. Is it... overview? Yeah, it's still Pep. I think Pep would be quite happy with that, even if they don't take him into the squad and they sell him at the end. He's had a very, very good season. And I'm very happy that I brought him in on loan, because that's what you have to do. Thomas Angel, bit of a letdown. Only 8 goals this season. Matteo Di Matteo, our man with 2 names. 6 and 6 for a 19-year-old in his first season. I'm actually really happy with that. Physically, he's an absolute monster already. He really is. But I need to get more out of him. So I do think a tactical change will probably come along in season 6 as well. Little hint for you there. And then, obviously, 10 assists from Asnu in his debut season. Meissner only got 5 goals. Pulic at centre-back got the same amount of goals as my striker. That says a lot. So overall, I think there is going to be some players being sold. I need to raise some money. And I don't have a lot of value in this squad. Echeverri is only on loan. And then I got Stanko. Only played 19 times. I need to get more out of him. He had a very, very good season, actually. Overall, he was one of the highest average ratings, along with Di Matteo. These two in the centre midfield partnership could actually be really, really good. And then, if I look, Cowie may get sold. Not selling Simon. Gonzalez is out on loan. He has had the game time, I think. Where did he go on loan? Armenia Bielefeld. He got 10 games there. I think that was a January loan as well. So I may be able to get some money for him. Rocker Wright is wanted again. That I may be able to bring in some extra money with. He's wanted. Daniel Lukic is wanted. Van der Voort is wanted. So a few of these players will end up going. There is no doubt about that. But we need to bring in the money to bring in the players that I want to bring in. As I say, there's going to be a bit of a tactical change now. I think if we're going to take the next step forward, we need to be a little bit more attacking, so to speak. But there we have it, guys. Right, don't forget to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below if you're enjoying this series, or let me know what sort of series you want to see. What sort of storylines do you want to see? I like creating these little stories with the smaller clubs and taking them from not nothing, but lower leagues all the way to the top. I like doing this sort of stuff. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Ta-ra.